Now, Zach, immigrant spending power here in Texas is roughly $100 billion. So when people talk about immigration and immigration reform, it's not just a personal issue for them. It is also a pocketbook and an economic issue as well.
Yeah, a lot of people overlook the tax benefits that do come with immigration. Certainly, we've been covering that here on our show. But you have been there for the last couple of days. So what are you seeing in terms of people on the ground actually going through the issues and arriving at which candidate they're going to be voting for tomorrow?
Absolutely. So a lot of people think of Texas as a red state, but Democrats here and voters here will actually say, no, actually, it is a non-voting state. And immigration reform and topics around immigration and border security, what's happening on the wall, is actually motivating them to get to the polls. Now, I want to bring in Omar Quintanilla. He is the commissioner of District 3 here in McAllen. Omar, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, you are not just an elected official. You also actually work in banking and in finance. So I want to ask you, how important economically is what's happening on the wall and immigration to a city like McAllen?
I think it's very important. Now with USMCA, we're having more of a discussion of trying to lure more manufacturing plants to our area. So what happens in Washington affects us. If there's negative rhetoric from Washington, it's going to impact our abilities to attract those manufacturing plants down here in McAllen.
So to that end, how have the last 4 years under the Trump administration, with their trade policies, that rhetoric around immigration, impacted communities like McAllen?
Well, I think it was difficult initially because there was a lot of rhetoric about the border wall, and we heard Trump emphasizing border security being solely based on the border wall. But I think lately you've seen a change in the discussion of more of a comprehensive approach, even from our local congressman as well here. So we're happy to hear that because we want people from Mexico to feel like we welcome them over here. And just talking about the border wall is going to be negative on that effort.
Right. Now, McAllen and areas in the Rio Grande Valley vote Democrat. This is a blue area. So on Tuesday, which of the candidates are resonating most with voters here?
Well, I think if you take a look at the two top contenders right now, Biden and Sanders, I think Biden will resonate a little bit more. We have a lot of entrepreneurs here, and having Sanders elected, I think kind of long term would be negative, not only for the area in terms of what we're trying to do on trade, but nationally in terms of our entire economy.
Are you hearing of a fear among business leaders or even among the residents of a Sanders nomination?
I think so. I think his idea of trying to regulate more industry, and that's not going to be good for our area. We're trying to deregulate the area here and trying to help with the USMCA and that effort. Going the other way around, I think, would be negative for our area.
Now, as I was talking about a little bit earlier, a lot of people think of Texas as a red state, and a lot of people here have been telling me, no, actually, we're a purple state, and Democrats saying it's a non-voting state. Are you seeing people more motivated come this time around to get to the polls and vote in the primary and then also again in the general in November?
I think so. I think now people are a lot more interested in what's going on in Washington because they know that it affects us. But I think more so in the general election in November, you're going to get a lot of people motivated because it's likely going to be a Trump and either Sanders or Biden. And you got people very much one way or the other. So they're motivated. They're going to come out in November. We're hoping here locally that they come out a little bit more here for the primaries because we just need to get the vote out.
Looking out to the general election, how close do you think it could be in a state like Texas? Is this going to be a real battleground state?
I think it is. I think historically it hasn't been. I think people have considered this to be a strong Republican state. But I think it's going to get closer. And I think that, for Republicans to really keep the state, they need to be focusing on economic issues, just issues that affect the working class, the people that want to hear about tax reform, and they want to talk about immigration as a comprehensive approach, not just a wall.
All right. Omar Quintanilla, thanks so much.
All right,
Back
thanks.
to you, Zach.
All right, thanks so much. Kristin Myers live in McAllen, Texas. Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.